Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to welcome you guys to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. The Black Financial Channel is where we cover financial news and commentary on a daily basis, several times a day, and we do it from a Black perspective. We believe that Black wealth is extremely important for Black people. We know that Black people need money, and I'm an expert on money, and so I thought the best way I could help you is to help you figure out how rich people get rich so that we can all get rich. But one important thing to understand every time we talk, I always remind you guys that I am Black first. We are Black before we're anything else. In fact, we're blickety black, unapologetically Black, and Black all the time. Black 7 days a week, twice on Sundays. Black every day, no matter what anybody thinks. We ain't scared of nobody. We are building wealth. We're making it happen. So put your hashtag B1, hashtag B1. Use that hashtag. That means that you're Black first. So put your hashtag B1 in the chat so that we can know that you belong in this space. This is not a space for people that are scared to be Black. So here's what is going on. I want to say good morning to everybody. I would read more stuff on the screen, but I got a confession to make, y'all. I broke my glasses this week, and these are not my glasses. These are my backup glasses. So these glasses make me farsighted, which means that if you were this close to my face and I had to read you to save my life, I would just die that day. If I had to read a piece of paper this close and to save my life, I would literally die that day because I cannot read things that are close. So I might have to do a Fred G. Sanford and do this in order to see. So I'm going to go get my glasses today. I just have to apologize in advance for that. But y'all in here, y'all didn't come here to talk about that. You came here to talk about Tesla stock. Tesla got my attention last night because Tesla blew up. Anybody own Tesla? Give me a yes or no in the chat if you bought Tesla. I hope you bought it. I hope you own some piece of Tesla because I've been talking about Tesla for months. We talked about it months ago, and I said, yeah, Tesla's a good company. I bought a lot of Tesla stock. Alicia and I own a ton of Tesla. We sold some of it. I kind of wish I hadn't sold it all. I wish I'd, but we did make a lot of money on Tesla because Tesla stock has just gone up like crazy. I mean, Tesla is an amazing company just because I just like Elon Musk. I mean, I do. I think that any billionaire who wants to go to Mars, I mean, you got to cheer for any billionaire who wants to go to Mars. They ain't even got to be Black. And it is crazy that Tesla was that their stock took that big jump. And by the way, the reason the stock took the big jump is because they were just added to the S&P 500. So what's interesting about Tesla having the big jump, I think it's about 13% jump overnight. So I think they went up from maybe a little over 400 to maybe 460 or something. Like if you own Tesla, like if Tesla was your house, process it like this. If Tesla was your house and let's say you bought a $400,000 house, and then overnight your house is instantly worth $460,000. Give me a yes or no if that would make you scream hallelujah, hallelujah, thank the Lord, thank God. I'm like, would that make you jump up and down? This is why stock market investing can be so powerful because real estate is really nice. Real estate's a nice stable investment for sure. Alicia and I own some real estate, but you don't have a house that can go up, 10, 20% in value in a day. You don't have a house that can, it's not often that you can buy a house and have it double in value in a year, right? Now, I'm not trying to say that you should not invest in real estate and just go put all your money in stocks. That would be bad diversification. That would be a very bad move. You didn't hear it here. I will never tell you to do something crazy like that. But, the stock market provides so many crazy, interesting ways to make money. It's been like that, not just for a year, not just for 5 years, not just for a decade, but probably 30 or 40 years. I mean, if you were a consistent stock market investor over the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years, there's almost no way you could be poor unless you were crazy and or stupid. And ain't no stupid people in the room. There might be some crazy people because I tend to attract crazy people to my platform. You got to be crazy to be unapologetically Black. So most of y'all are probably crazy like me. But I'll tell you, the stock market has been an ATM machine for a very long time. A lot of it started actually in 2009, right after the big crash. When they let Obama take over the country right in the middle of a major crash, because they always give the Black man the football team when the team has a losing record. So the Obama comes in 2008. the market just crashed after having a massive run up for many years where people made a ton of money, by the way. And then after the crash, they do the recovery where people made even more money during the recovery, which I hope that you didn't miss that. If you did, that's okay. Just know you don't want to miss stuff like that. And then over the next maybe, 2009 to now, it's 11 years. 11 years, it's been raining dollar bills in the stock market. And I've been screaming it from the rooftops because that's my expertise. That's what I understand really well. And I really feel sorry for Black people in our community who feel like they can't find wealth. But we will, maybe go buy some Air Jordans or some Popeye's chicken or some Beyonce tickets and won't take at least a fraction of that and consistently invest that in the market. I feel like you're missing out. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Also, I should let you guys know, if you want to take a look at our Black Wealth calendar, our Black Wealth calendars are ready for 2021. And the calendar is really awesome. It actually has a bunch of Black Wealth principles on it that you can put on your refrigerator. We're trying to help you change the culture in your household. So a calendar we found is a great way to do that. So you just pop that calendar up. So a lot of you buy the calendar every year. So it's ready. We made the mistake one year of not offering the calendar, and everybody was like, "Where's the calendar? Where's the calendar?" Well, there's a calendar. There's your calendar. And the theme of the Black Wealth calendar for next year is the all Black agenda. The all Black national agenda is the Black agenda that we are pursuing without asking for the permission of politicians. We don't need the permission of white people. We don't need anybody's permission to pursue a Black agenda. Also, you don't have to wait for 40 million other Black people to get on board with the Black agenda. You can pursue it right now in your house, in your home, because I can easily show you how to get your wealth level above the average American. That's very easy to do. It's just a matter, but the problem is that the habits are so bad that a lot of people are going to stay broke because they've been given that mentality early. So let me give you some information on the Tesla, the Tesla stock bump that took place last night. First of all, Tesla is an interesting case when you talk about companies being added to the S&P 500. Tesla, they deserve to be there, right? I mean, the criteria for entering the S&P 500, I think, is that you have to have at least, among other criteria, is that you have to have a market value of over $8.2 billion. Tesla, last time I checked, was worth about $387 billion. So, okay, let's see, market value 387. Is that greater than 8? Yes, check. Okay. So the other thing, though, there are other criteria, though. It's not just market value. You also have to have at least 50% of your shares floating in the market. Like, you can't have a company where one guy owns 80% of the company. That's almost considered like privately held. That's not going to make the S&P 500. A committee actually decides. They make the final decision as to whether or not you're going to be added or taken out. And they have some discretion to just say, yeah, you're making money hand over fist, but you don't belong in the club. Right. The S&P 500 is kind of a special club because when stocks get added to the S&P, they tend to have a bump. And the reason they tend to have a bump is because all of these fund managers who have funds that track the S&P are going to go buy that stock. Well, if you know anything, maybe an 8-year-old could probably figure this out. When you have increased demand, that's going to push the price of something up. Right. If supply is pretty constant and you increase demand, the price is going to go up. So when you get added to the S&P, this is why Elon Musk is excited. When you get added to the S&P, your price tends to jump because all these fund managers then have to go buy your stock just to keep their tracking indexes balanced, right? So Tesla took that bump. And here's the thing. Here's what's interesting. This was predictable, man. This wasn't like rocket science. It's almost like predicting. I've been talking to you guys for months about how a vaccine is going to come up. I said they're going to have a vaccine. When the vaccine is announced, the prices are going to go up. Well, the vaccine gets announced by Pfizer, and then the other one was it Moderna? I thought was it Moderna that had the second vaccine. I think it was Moderna. Maybe I think it was Moderna. Yeah, and the price goes up or prices go up. Well, that wasn't hard to predict. I did not need my PhD to tell you that when the vaccine was announced or when progress was made on the vaccine, you were probably going to see a price jump or a jump in the market. Well, with Tesla, their entry into the S&P 500 was very predictable. It was almost one of those things where they checked all the boxes, but there's something that doesn't feel right about adding Tesla to the S&P 500. And I don't actually blame them for being a little bit squeamish, because Tesla is not a typical company and Elon Musk is not a typical CEO. Here's the deal. First of all, Elon Musk is not a regular guy. He's I love him. I think he's great. I love any billionaire that wants to go to Mars. I think that's really awesome. In fact, just 2 days earlier, he actually launched a NASA crew to the space station with his other company, SpaceX. That's his part-time job, right? Is running SpaceX, right? Where he just made history this week by sending some NASA astronauts to the space station. That's pretty awesome. One of them was actually a brother from an HBCU who actually, I think, led the crew, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the brother's name, but congratulations to him. That's pretty cool. And so Musk does this, and then he gets added to the S&P 500. It added about $15 billion to his wealth, to his net worth. And I think that's great for him. Now, Elon Musk is interesting. In my family, we talk about Elon Musk a lot because our 17-year-old loves cars. And so he knows all about Teslas and cars. He's been trying to get me to get a Tesla. We haven't got one. We've thought about it, but we haven't got one yet. And he wants to go into engineering, like a lot of your kids may want to go into engineering. And I said, okay, well, let's look at Elon Musk and let's figure out why he's a multi-billionaire and not just a guy with a job, not just an engineer with a really fancy desk, right? Not just some guy making, $125,000 a year working for Ford. Well, it comes down to knowing business and being an entrepreneur and taking some risk. Elon Musk took a lot of risk in his career to get to where he is now. And also he understands a lot about business. So I told him, I said, I don't care if you major in engineering. I think that's great. But as a black man, especially, you should probably know business, because maybe at some point you're going to get tired of the racism on your job and you're going to want to make more money. And you're going to want to go buy one of these $100,000 cars that we see on the road. Well, people that have regular jobs can't buy a car that costs $100,000. But I know a lot of entrepreneurs who make $100,000 a month. You ain't got to be Elon Musk, but it's not that hard to be a multimillionaire in this economy if you position yourself the right way. So, long story short, Musk is a guy who has taken chances all throughout his career. And that spills over into the way he operates as a CEO. His company's been accused publicly of financial fraud. The SEC got on him pretty bad because he made some announcements on Twitter that he shouldn't have made. He got a little Donald Trumpish on Twitter and started running his mouth about stuff he shouldn't have been talking about. He's gone on podcasts and smoked weed with the host. I think he was on with Joe Rogan and was smoking weed on the podcast, right? Most CEOs don't go on podcasts and smoke weed. What else? Oh, and the company's just, even without all of that, the company's just naturally volatile. There's a tremendous amount of volatility in Tesla stock. And that volatility has always concerned me. When I invested heavily in Tesla, and I told Alicia, I said, yeah, I'm putting money into the company because I love Musk. I think it's a good investment. I think the company has huge upside. But we're going to protect ourselves from the downside. So that was where we included the use of put options and things like that. I was selling call options. I wasn't trying to gamble on Tesla stock. I wanted to sell options to the gamblers. I didn't really want to gamble on Tesla stock. And now I kind of wish I had a little bit more because, the company's doing great. But the thing about it is that the other thing about Tesla that's really interesting is that a lot of companies that enter the S&P 500, they enter from the bottom. They start from the bottom. Now they're here, right? They come in as one of the least valued companies in the S&P. Tesla's not coming in as the tiny little scrub at the end of the bench, the little rookie that gets a couple minutes of playing time. Tesla's coming in like LeBron. Like, if you remember when LeBron came into the NBA, he was a guy that was instantly expected to transform the NBA just like that. Shaquille O'Neal, if you recall, was like that. He came in, he immediately made an impact. Well, Tesla is kind of like the LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal of the S&P 500. They're coming in as an absolute behemoth. Their market value is higher than 95% of the companies on the S&P 500. So it makes people really nervous that the S&P 500, which is supposed to be a tracker of economic activity for the country, has this massive behemoth of a company that's extremely volatile that's coming in. And it's going to kind of really shake the index up a little bit and kind of undermine or potentially lead us to question its ability to be an adequate economic indicator, meaning that, the people that look at the S&P to determine how well the market is doing may not have a lot of faith in that, because there's a lot of inherent risk in Tesla that a lot of people don't even mention. For example, here's one. I don't know. And I haven't seen any articles about this, but I thought about this. I said, what if Elon Musk dies? Like, what if one day he just goes to sleep and does not wake up because he's working so hard that he has a heart attack? God forbid. Well, I mean, that right there is going to probably cost $100 million in economic value to disappear just like that. 100 billion. Did I say million? I meant to say billion. So I'm a little bit concerned. Here's some other things about Elon that's really interesting, right? I mean, just talking about volatility. Volatility is any kind of uncertainty. He doesn't believe, he believes that the panic over the virus is a bunch of BS. I don't know if you all recall, right? When it first started, he said panicking over this virus is stupid. Now, as he sits at home with the virus right now, but that's another crazy thing, right? As all this is happening, he's at home with the virus. He's got the virus at home. And so in the same week that he catches the virus, he sends NASA astronauts into space for the first time in history, right? First time a private company's ever done that. He made history. And then Tesla gets into the S&P 500 and he makes $15 billion as a result of all of this, just from his Tesla job, not from his other job at SpaceX. And he's got this virus. Now he says he's fine. He's going to be okay. But it's kind of interesting in that he's just a guy that kind of just lives on the edge. And I remember him fighting with the county commissioner because they wanted to shut down the Tesla factory because of the virus. And he fought with the person on Twitter like crazy. So I just think I would just say this. Here's what my conclusion. My conclusion is that those who have concerns about the risk of Tesla stock are absolutely correct. I almost will say that, at least for me, I when I invest heavily in Tesla, which I'm probably going to invest more at some point, I tend to use stock options to balance my risk, to manage my risk. I don't believe in going all in and going hard. The stock market is not a casino. That is a long-term wealth building mechanism for your family. It is not a casino unless you want it to be. If you want to gamble with your family wealth, that's fine. I don't do that. So that's kind of what it is. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you want to teach your kids about wealth, things like that, which I highly recommend, you can actually take a look at our workbooks and flashcards that we design. We have Black educators design workbooks and flashcards. You can go to financialworkbooks.com to take a look. That's financialworkbooks.com. Also, text the word voice to 31996, and you can get text notifications periodically when we go live. It's expensive to send out text messages, so I don't send them out all the time, but sometimes I do send them out. So you may want to subscribe to other things as well, just so you can kind of know what we have going on. We want to help you figure out how to make money. That's really important for you. So, I will say that one other thing you want to be concerned about or pay attention to is that companies that get added to the S&P 500, while they tend to have an immediate boost, the average rate of return for companies that enter the S&P over the next year is usually not very good. So what happens is there's something weird. It's almost like a bad relationship where in the beginning you have the big boost because you're in love and everything that they do is cute and wonderful and all that stuff. But then maybe a year in, things kind of wane off a little bit. So maybe you could almost say that companies being added to the S&P, there's a honeymoon period and there's a big stock boost. But then as I guess the market sobers up, I got to read up on the theory on this, but as the market kind of sobers up and as the financial realities come into check, you tend to see a little bit of a downward movement on the stock price. Now, this does not mean it's going to happen with Tesla. This is what happens on average. So if you want to know what I'm kind of doing with my Tesla stock, I'm probably actually going to go sell some put options or something like that. Or, so that maybe I can get in at a lower price. And then if I do get in, I will probably sell call options in order to generate some income for my portfolio and not necessarily bet on Tesla stock going up even further. I would almost say that one could argue that Tesla stock is probably a little bit overpriced right now, just based on standard reversals. It wouldn't surprise me if over the next couple of weeks, next few months, you saw a little bit of a drop in Tesla stock. But then again, Tesla stock is very it's a hard stock to predict. It does a lot of crazy things. And so if you don't understand stock options just yet and you want to learn more, feel free to go to blackoptionsinvesting.com. That's blackoptionsinvesting.com. We're going to do a stock option training weekend very soon where I'm actually going to break down. I'm building together. I've been working on this for almost a year. I put together a methodology where you can use options to generate income from your portfolio without selling your stock. I put this together because a lot of you basically we're buying your stock and you're like, okay, when can I get money from this? When can I, get money? Should I sell? And I'm not a big fan of selling your assets. I am a big fan of using your assets, though, to become income generating mechanisms. So I put together a model that I actually use for my own family. And I wanted to test it out for almost a year just to make sure I wasn't talking about something crazy. And it's not something you'll find in any textbook. I'm literally putting this together. So maybe early 2021, I'll let you guys know when we're going to do it. And we'll just do it over a weekend. I'll break it all down. And I think you're going to like it. So because I know it's made a lot of money for us over the past year. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here, guys. One other interesting thing that went down is Walmart had a really good earnings announcement. I've always liked Walmart. Walmart's another company that we've actually mentioned and talked about before because Walmart is making some really interesting moves in their effort to compete with Amazon. Like everybody, it's almost like relationships, how you get love rivalries or whatever, right? So Walmart's trying to become Amazon, and then Disney's trying to become Netflix. Right, but not quite like Netflix, but they're trying to compete with Netflix. So Disney's making moves toward Netflix. I think Disney, they're up to 95 million paid subscribers on Disney Plus because they were sitting at home, with they couldn't do their theme parks, they couldn't do their live sports, they couldn't do they couldn't shoot their movies. So they said, okay, let's put our money into streaming. Now they're becoming a real competitor with Netflix. They're almost half of what Netflix is in terms of total subscribers. I think Disney Plus is 75 million. Netflix is 195 million. Don't be surprised if Disney catches up with Netflix. And then on top of that, they're making money from other places too. So they're going to be really extraordinary when the pandemic is over. And then also Walmart is trying to catch up with Amazon by really upgrading their technology. They've made some really strong strategic partnerships in that area. And also they have a membership club that's designed to compete with Amazon Prime. And they've got the benefit of more physical locations than Amazon. So it'll be real interesting to see this battle between Walmart and Amazon. And so Walmart issued their earnings report, and they actually did much better than people expected, which was great. I've been consistently buying Walmart stock because if you recall, a few months ago, I actually mentioned Walmart as one of the stocks that I was buying. I don't tell you guys what to buy. I don't do investment advice, but I do let you guys know what's going on and what I'm into. So, and actually, if you want to see a lot of the stuff that I'm buying, feel free to join us in the Black Stock Market Program. There's the URL. The first month actually is free. So you can feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. There's a segment called What Dr. Boyce is Buying. I added in there totally free for the students, and you can go in there and literally see what I'm buying if you want to pay attention to that. And then also there's a Q&A blog, a private blog where you can put questions there. I answer every single question. So sometimes if I go live, I can't answer every question in a live, but in there, I answer every single question from the students. So feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com if you want to take a look. Don't forget the THE, the blackstockmarketprogram.com. And before I go, one more thing I want to mention to you guys is we have a movie that we just made. You guys know we have a film industry that we're building. And so basically Boyce Watkins Films partnered with Taki Grant, the director of the new film Happy. Happy explores the roots of economic systems and how it goes all the way back to ancient Africa. So a lot of the things that people use in Europe and around the world actually started with us, which is no surprise. We kind of invented everything. And so Taki goes all around the world. He goes to Egypt and other parts of Africa and talks about Kemet, Kush, etc., and how that basically created our modern economic systems, and also how it links to slavery. So you have a lot of historians in there. You have some economists in there, Dr. Julianne Malveaux, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Professor James Small, etc. I'm in the film. So if you want to join us for the screening of this film, it's going to be online. You can go to blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. Okay, guys, so I'm out of here. Have a good day. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And also text the word Boyce to 31996 if you want to get text notifications. I will go live on the Black Financial Channel a little bit later on today if I see anything interesting happening in the markets. And I enjoy talking to you, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. So take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Be good. Bye-bye.